The courtroom was tense. The air was thick with anticipation, and every eye was fixed on the witness stand. Sarah, the defendant, sat rigidly in the witness stand. Her posture was stiff, almost as if she was trying to hold herself together. Her voice trembled as she answered the lawyer's questions. Each word seemed to take an eternity to leave her lips, and the courtroom hung on her every syllable. She claimed she'd never seen the stolen jewels before. Her denial was firm, yet there was an undercurrent of uncertainty that made everyone question her sincerity. However, something about her demeanor seemed off. It was as if she was hiding something, a secret that she was desperate to keep buried. Her eyes darted around the room, avoiding direct contact. It was a classic sign of someone who was not being entirely truthful. Her hands fidgeted in her lap. The nervous movements betrayed her calm facade, hinting at the turmoil within. Was she telling the truth, or was she spinning a web of lies? The jury watched her closely, trying to decipher the truth from her every gesture. The ability to lie is a uniquely human trait. It's something that we all possess, yet it can be incredibly difficult to detect. It's a complex psychological phenomenon with far-reaching consequences. Lies can be small and seemingly harmless, or they can be large and devastating. We've all told white lies to spare someone's feelings or to avoid an uncomfortable situation. These are often seen as socially acceptable, even necessary at times. But what about the more serious lies, the ones that can damage relationships, ruin reputations, or even lead to criminal charges? These lies can have profound and lasting impacts on people's lives. Understanding the psychology of lying can help us navigate a world where deception is often lurking beneath the surface. By recognizing the signs and understanding the motivations behind lies, we can better protect ourselves and those we care about. Why do people lie? It's a question that has puzzled humanity for centuries, and the answers are as varied as the individuals who tell the lies. The answer, like most things in psychology, is complicated. Human behavior is influenced by a myriad of factors, and deception is no different. Fear is a powerful motivator. It can drive people to do things they wouldn't normally consider, including lying. We might lie to avoid punishment or to protect ourselves or loved ones from harm. This instinct for self-preservation is deeply rooted in our psyche. A student might lie about cheating on a test to avoid getting in trouble. The fear of consequences can be overwhelming, leading to deceptive behavior. A child might lie about breaking a vase to avoid their parents' anger. This kind of lie is often a child's first foray into the world of deception. Manipulation is another common reason behind deception. People might use lies to influence others and control situations to their advantage. People might lie to gain something they want, whether it's money, power, or control. The desire for personal gain can be a strong incentive to deceive. A con artist might lie to steal someone's life savings. These lies are often elaborate and well-planned, preying on the trust and vulnerability of others. A politician might lie to gain votes. In the world of politics, deception can be a tool to sway public opinion and secure power. Sometimes people lie simply to make themselves look better. This can be a way to enhance one's image and gain social approval. They might exaggerate their accomplishments or downplay their failures to boost their self-esteem or impress others. This type of deception is often driven by a need for validation. This self-preservation through creating a false persona can be a powerful tool for social navigation. In a world where perception often shapes reality, the ability to deceive can sometimes be seen as a necessary skill. While people can be skilled liars, detecting deception is often a matter of paying close attention to subtle cues. There are often subtle psychological signs that betray their deception, even if they think they are being convincing. Body language, in particular, can be very revealing. The way someone moves or holds themselves can give away more than their words. Liars often avoid eye contact. Their pupils might dilate, and they might look away frequently. This avoidance can be a subconscious attempt to hide their deceit. They might blink more frequently, a sign of nervousness or stress. This increased blinking rate can be a physiological response to the anxiety of lying. Liars might fidget, touch their face, or scratch their nose. These actions can be attempts to self-soothe or distract from the lie. They might cover their mouth as if trying to suppress their words, a subconscious effort to stop the lie from escaping. Verbal cues can also indicate deception. The way someone speaks can change when they are lying. Liars might speak more quickly or slowly than usual, their speech patterns altered by the stress of maintaining a falsehood. Their voices might become higher-pitched, a result of tension in the vocal cords caused by anxiety. They might stumble over their words, hesitating as they try to keep their stories straight. Liars might provide too much or too little information, either overcompensating to seem credible or being vague to avoid being caught in a lie. Their stories might lack consistency, with details changing each time they tell it, a clear sign of fabrication. Micro-expressions, which are fleeting facial expressions that last for a fraction of a second, can also reveal a person's true emotions. These brief flashes of genuine emotion can be very telling. For example, a liar might briefly display an expression of fear or guilt, even if they quickly mask it with a smile or neutral expression. These fleeting expressions can be a window into their true feelings, revealing the stress and guilt of lying. Even as they're trying to appear calm and composed, these small involuntary cues can give them away. By paying attention to these signs, you can become more adept at spotting deception. How to catch a liar. Catching a liar isn't always easy, but there are some techniques that can help. One effective method is to pay attention to inconsistencies in a person's story. Ask probing questions and look for discrepancies in their answers. Liars often struggle to keep their stories straight, especially when they're put on the spot. Another useful technique is to observe the person's baseline behavior. How do they normally act when they're telling the truth? Once you have a sense of their baseline, look for any deviations from that norm when you suspect they might be lying. Changes in body language, speech patterns, or emotional expression could be red flags. The reverse questioning method. One particularly effective interrogation technique is the reverse questioning method. This method involves asking the suspect to retell their story in reverse chronological order. This disrupts the liar's carefully constructed narrative and makes it more difficult for them to maintain consistency. For example, imagine you're interviewing a suspect who claims they were at the movies when a robbery took place. Instead of asking them to recount the events in chronological order, you might say, "Okay, so you said you left the theatre at 10 p.m. Tell me everything you did before that, starting with the last thing you remember doing in the theatre." This forces the suspect to think backward, making it harder for them to maintain a fabricated story. The importance of context. While understanding the psychology of lying can be helpful, it's important to remember that no single cue is a foolproof indicator of deception. Everyone is different, and what might be a sign of lying in one person could be perfectly normal behavior for another. It's crucial to consider the context of the situation and the individual's baseline behavior before jumping to conclusions. Some people are naturally more fidgety or avoidant of eye contact, even when they're telling the truth. Understanding deception, a valuable tool. The ability to detect deception is a valuable tool in both our personal and professional lives. It can help us protect ourselves from harm, make informed decisions, and build stronger relationships. However, it's important to use this knowledge responsibly and ethically. Accusing someone of lying without sufficient evidence can damage relationships and create unnecessary conflict. Instead, focus on understanding the motivations behind deception and using your knowledge to encourage honesty and transparency in your interactions with others.